Everybody, welcome to another episode of Windshield Time, the podcast where we help you use your windshield time to turn learning into earning. Windshield Time is brought to you by Service Excellence. I'm the host, Chris Elmore, and I'm back again with Harold James Walker Jr., also known as J-Dub. Is that the J-Dub sign?
That's the W sign. Walker.
Do you have a J? Can you do both? You just told someone who speaks American Sign Language to get lost.
Right, yeah. Be gone, you.
Today, we're going to be talking about two more of the 6 principles of influence, which are going to be consensus and likability. Stay tuned. Oh, J-Dub Ruins podcast. Here we go.
So what are we talking what's our little ice?
What is the greatest singer you've ever heard?
Oh, man. You start, because I got to think about Whitney's right there. Right there.
I'll give you Whitney.
Male singer. Who do you have in mind? I'm sure it's like some sort of
No, I didn't say male singer. I said,
but I was trying to think. Whitney's my female singer. Male singer.
I would say Raw Power.
Yeah. Chris Cornell.
And Wilson from Heart.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm with you.
Absolutely. Raw Power.
Yeah.
Martina McBride.
Okay.
Raw Power. I'm sure there's others.
Do you have kind of like a segment of like just crooner singer, or do you like rock singer or something like that? Because I think Chris Cornell is my favorite rock singer of all time. One of the best of all time.
Is he Coldplay?
No, that's Chris Martin. Chris Cornell is, Audio Slave, but who is he before that? Spoon Man. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Soundgarden, thank you.
Okay.
And then Staley, Alice Staley from, not Alice in Chains. What his name was not. Lane Staley from Alice in Chains. One of the best singers.
Okay.
Yeah. If you ever listen to his vocals, legit.
Yeah.
So, Heart is yours.
Yeah, I think so. And Martina McBride. I prefer those real powerful voices like that.
Yeah.
Celine
Dion?
No. Oh, she can sing. I mean, she could be great. I just don't like her music.
Yeah.
I like Harry Connick Jr. is good.
Yeah. You went to a Harry Connick Jr. concert not too long ago.
Sweaty mess.
5 years ago.
He's a sweaty mess.
Yeah.
He had the flu.
Oh, that stinks.
It was in a ballroom at a casino, so it's not great. Not a great
venue. Yeah, he's a talented musician. Yeah, I tell you, I don't know. I like people with some distinction in their voice. You know, not just pure but soulful. Little.
Okay.
Yeah.
My wife and I, we joke. My wife and I, Laura, we joke about. There's so many royalties of fill in the blank of soul.
Right.
Like
right.
Who's
the king of soul?
Who's the queen of soul?
Latifah.
Nope.
I'm not sorry. Latifah. Aretha is what I meant. You said queen and I went to Latifah.
Yes.
Aretha Franklin. Sorry.
Aretha Franklin.
Yes.
Okay.
You said nope. What is wrong with us?
I do not know.
Aretha.
But I was listening to the radio.
Godfather.
And they were talking about a concert of Gladys Knight. You know what she is?
Pips. What? She's
the Empress of Soul.
Empress. You're gonna get into these lesser judiciaries. Just like
who's the Duchess of Soul?
The console of soul.
Oh man. Well, you know, music's one of those other things that everybody just has a preference.
Yeah. For. Who's the Godfather of soul?
James Brown.
Probably. It's got to be. Yeah. Interesting.
And people are listening. When are they going to talk about something?
It's interesting to us.
Those guys are so old. Those guys are so old. So, okay, we're going to jump right into it.
Swell.
Consensus. So consensus, that's where we're doing what everybody else does. We want to be in the status quo.
Sure.
Right?
You want to be part of the cool kids. You want to be part of the crowd, the popular choice.
The in crowd.
The in crowd. The majority of people making a decision dictate whether or not we feel like it's a good decision to make.
Yeah, and everyday life, where do we see that these days? It's on product reviews on Amazon.
Yeah, sure.
It's Yelp reviews or restaurant reviews and those kind of things.
Mhm.
And I think consensus, I think it's just born into human beings. It's peer pressure.
Right.
Right? It's you going to school when you're in junior high, wanting to wear the same thing everybody else is, the cool kids are wearing.
Yeah, the dress.
Yeah. And it's funny. How did they become the cool kids?
Everybody just knows who the cool kids are.
You do, but
Somehow.
what is it? Is it driven by money? It's driven by an external force because
Sure.
you don't usually know the cool kids or else you'd be one.
Right. Right.
And if you're wondering if you're a cool kid, you're not. Right?
Yeah.
So we want to do things that everybody else has done. We like to ask people what they would do in a situation.
Here's a thought: safety in numbers. As a simple, succinct statement, safety in numbers. We feel
it's instinctive.
Yeah, there's just herd mentality, and being able to feel like maybe this is not the best decision necessarily, but even if I make a mistake making this decision, I'm not the only one who's made a fool of myself.
Yeah. And nowadays you can read about who made a fool of themselves
Yeah.
because you can read about the people who had bad experiences.
Yeah.
And here's what's interesting about reviews is that you go to, let's say you go and you're looking at a restaurant to go to,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got 250 5-star reviews. It's 5 stars.
Sure.
What is your real first thought?
They're cultivating reviews and getting rid of the bad ones somehow.
Yeah, they're doing something to influence other than what they're
Actual-
being rated on.
Right.
They're doing something in order to get those 5 stars. So there's a not suspectability. Is that a word?
Suspicion?
I've been adding ly to a lot of words lately.
Yeah.
So I think that when you see something that's perfect, you suspect it.
Yeah.
Always.
That's my wife felt about me. Keep going.
So
Take camera 1.
Alex, insert his spit take. There you go. Oh, Alex, I had an idea for future. Let's make sure that you have, the bell ringing sound like ding. Every time James uses a 4-syllable word, you ding it.
You already
Ding.
have crickets. You already have crickets.
Ding. But I think you suspect it. But I think there's something else that happens too. If you go to the flip side, what if they have 250 1-star reviews? What's your first thought?
Man, I mean,
They suck.
yeah, something's wrong here for sure.
Right. So think about that. They suck or they suck because
Yeah.
I can't believe them.
Right.
5-star or 1-star reviews.
Sure.
So now you look at the situation in the middle. Okay. What if I've got 3.2 out of 5 stars? How do you feel?
They must suck.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
What if they have 4 stars on average?
Yeah.
And they've got thousands and thousands of reviews as 4 stars. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking they're, maybe not bad to do business with, maybe just priced a little bit higher than people. Not
Well, you want to dive in and know why.
Yeah, what's going on here?
You want to understand more. And then what if something is rated 4.7 stars
Yeah.
and thousands of reviews? What is your thinking?
Yeah, your default is, hey, this is a pretty safe choice.
Yeah. Now, I'm probably going to go in and it's like, okay, great. 4.7 stars is awesome. Let me see the horror stories.
Yeah.
And of course, you click on the 1-star reviews and the first one says, this product sucks.
Yeah.
Doesn't name the
Always.
product, no personal,
Yeah.
whatever, no pictures. This product sucks. And then there's another one that clearly the person is typing English, but they don't think or speak in English. I order, no bad. That kind of, so you see the trash ones.
Sure.
But what I'm looking for is how did they screw up and then what did they do about it?
Sure.
But here's what I usually think. If I'm looking at a 4.7 reviews
Mm-hmm.
and I find that one that's 2 stars, I'm going, well, that idiot must have done something wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's all their fault that they got a 2-star
Right.
experience out of a place with average 4.7
Right.
stars. So it's just weird how we think about that in terms
Mm-hmm.
of consensus. I don't know why I can't think of that word today.
I don't know.
I was going to say commiseration,
No.
sort of similar.
Yeah.
But consensus, it's weird how we think about those things and what we suspect.
Yeah.
I love the English language. You know why?
You're still learning it?
Because you call a waiter, you call them waiters, but they're servers. But so is the storage media where this podcast rests right now.
True.
It's on a server.
That's also
somewhere,
true.
which is weird,
Yeah.
right?
And then I'm a waiter right now for you to come to a good point.
No, you're a person waiting.
It's not the same thing.
But then I said suspect.
Suspectability.
If I say that's suspect,
Yes.
or I suspect that.
Uh-huh.
But when you robbed money out of your daddy's pocket when you were a kid and he was looking for who did it, you were a suspect.
That's true.
Isn't it weird?
It's there. It's weird.
It's fascinating.
It is fascinating. So with regards to consensus, not commiseration.
Well, think of the word pair. Just the way it's said. It's a fruit or two people or I cut it back.
It's all of those things.
Pair.
Homonyms. So as we move forward into the discussion here today, what you have on consensus is the thought process of, hey, if I can somehow allow this customer to feel like they are not alone in this, that they are similar to other people who have faced this before, and this is what other people in their situation have done in the past, they're much more bought into the solution. Now, if I just say, hey, everybody does this, there's things that you can bring to bear into the conversation simply by asking, hey, what made you call us today? And they're going to say, well, hey, man, I heard you got a lot of great reviews. People seem to think y'all are awesome. There's stuff like that. Even going into an area of saying, hey, Mrs. Jones, a lot of people in this neighborhood really suffer from poor water quality. Go ahead. We're about to say something on that?
Well, no, can finish the example.
No, please interrupt. I wasn't quite done.
I don't need your permission to interrupt. I think we've proven that.
When I want your opinion,
what came to my mind, though, was thinking that I think in that example, you localized it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you localized it, you put them in a smaller, more familiar group.
For sure.
Because when you say
people who are like them,
you say, yeah, every customer does this.
Mm-hmm.
That's too big of a group to feel safe in.
Yeah.
They don't identify with everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got to give them something to identify with. So most of the people in houses this age, or most of the people with this type of system, we localize it. But again, we got to say one thing, game off. It has to be true.
Yeah.
It can't be made up. It has to be true.
But the smaller, what you're saying, the smaller the subset, the more potent the idea.
Well, the more relatable it is, and the more they identify.
To me, hey, most houses in this neighborhood were built between this time frame. They're all aging about the same age. Systems that are this age are typically going to be dealing with the same stuff because of that.
Yes.
Your neighbors, if you're looking, most of them have a water filtration device on their system. There's a place of where their context is very refined. And now if everybody in that context is making decision A, it becomes much easier to feel good about making decision A. Now, again, back to the point, you can't lie. Anytime you lie or manipulate, it's going to come back and haunt you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
something's going to ring
off the table,
hollow later.
It's off the table, right?
So a good example to me, and I'm going to speak, you can apply it to different things, but take water filtration.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've priced water filtration as a consumer and then as a provider. So I understand the behind the scenes of it. And what I know is an RO, water filtration, purification, blah, 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 all the stuff. You can buy a system and have it installed for $2,500, or you can go up over $5,000.
Sure.
But there is a range where most people go.
Yeah.
Right? Money, no object, they're 5, 6, maybe more. Budget conscious, they're probably on the lower end. Might try some of the bolt-on things that do something with electricity or whatever.
Right.
Those kind of things. So I think it's important. And you could say the same thing with HVAC systems.
Sure.
Right? Because I have personally installed HVAC systems, and this was 30-some years ago, that were $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 back in that day.
Right.
But I've also installed systems, or I know clients who've installed systems for $50,000 today, and systems as low as $8,500 today.
Right.
So when you're building consensus, it's important that you eliminate the outliers, because if you include the outliers, it's not as relatable.
Sure.
Okay, and so one of the things we do when we say, well, you need to install this thing, and it's an add-on. Well, how much is that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the case of water filtration, we have systems that go anywhere from $2,500 installed to up well over $5,000 or $6,000, depending on what you want, what your home needs.
Mm-hmm.
But most people are on the lower to middle end of that.
Right.
Okay. So again, we can cross the line here, and any of these things, we can cross the line to disingenuous, fake, lying manipulation. And that's the thing about tools. You can use a chainsaw to cut down a tree that's affecting power lines or blocking the view or whatever, but you can also use a chainsaw to cut up your best friend.
There you go. Right. I was wondering where we were going with this.
Yeah. I mean, but that's to your point, though.
Sure.
It's a tool that can be used either way. It's powerful, whether it's powerful evil, powerful good.
Right.
And so it's just like Superman. Superman could have dominated the world. By the way, Superman's not real, y'all. But he could have dominated the world with his powers, and I'm sure there's plenty of storylines where he's been manipulated.
Sure.
Jesus could have snapped his finger, and everybody's gone but him, right? And his dad. But the point is that
do you think people tune into this for theological insight or no?
I've almost guaranteed they don't now. I think that's a hard no now.
Hard no.
They went from a kind of a soft to a hard no.
We lost all those Southern Baptists.
My point is,
go ahead.
These things can be used to manipulate people and take advantage of people.
Yeah.
But any tool can be used for an evil purpose.
100%.
Right? I've watched a lot of British crime thrillers lately.
I bet you.
So I know that I've had evidence of that, at least fictional stuff. But so it's like I could say that most people are on the lower to middle end of that, or most people don't spend that much though.
Yeah.
Or I could do something like that.
Yeah.
But I think there is and I think credibility is tied up in this too, and I'll tell you why. But if you think about an HVAC system, a lot of times we're faced with people do not want technicians to give prices on replacement of anything, unless it's something simple, like replacing a water heater or whatever. But if it's a more complex sale, we tend to hear, oh, well, I don't want my technicians giving prices because they feel like it hurts the salesperson's chances when they get in the home.
Sure.
And I totally disagree with that. I think that it helps the salesperson when they get in the home, because if the customer's not going to replace it, they need to understand that before the salesperson ever gets there.
Sure.
And so when you say something like, you think about technicians giving a price. And if the technician is instructed, if the customer asks for a price, tell them you can't do that because you don't know how much they are and you don't have all the details and you couldn't give them a price. Okay. Well, if you do that, you've just abolished the credibility.
Mm-hmm.
Because how are you a professional expert authority, but you don't know how much new ones are? Can't you give me a ballpark?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't like to give ballparks because we don't have all the details and the right pricing for today, and I wouldn't want to give you a price that wasn't true. No, that's still not a thing.
Yeah.
Now, I know some of you may disagree with that, and that's okay. You may feel comfortable with what you're doing. That's the way your company might be. You might be an owner listening to this, and you don't want your people giving pricing. I support you if that is your choice.
Yeah.
But you have to understand the effect of your choices.
Mm-hmm.
And the effect of having a technician say that to a customer undermines the credibility of the technician that they've just spent possibly hours building up.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to it, as it specifically states to or speaks to consensus, first of all, as a credible professional expert authority, I know how much new ones are.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how much it would be for this home or this system or this thing, whatever, because I may not be able to price it exactly down to the penny because I don't have those tools, and it may not be my skill set to do so. So the way consensus comes into that is, well, how much is a new system? And I'll just use HVAC. How much is a new system? Well, we have systems that go anywhere from $12,000 to up over $30,000, depending on what you want, what your home needs, and all the variables involved in it. But I can tell you most people that we serve are somewhere on the lower to middle end of that. Mm-hmm. And you can say middle to lower end if you want. It doesn't matter which way you put the words. Well, what just happened is somebody took the numbers and they said, what's between 10 and 30? 20. Mm-hmm. That's the middle.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be between, or what did I say, 12 and 30?
Yeah, 12 and 30.
So, okay, what is it, 21, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to be somewhere between $12,000 and $21,000. Most people are on the lower to middle end of that. Okay, so that's what they've done in their head.
Right.
Because that's what you do with numbers. Most people
Sure.
do that with numbers. And then the argument is, well, customers only hear the low number. Okay, well, guess what you did? You told the truth. So it's okay if they only heard 12,000. Because if their house can't get 12,000, they're not going to get it for 12,000, and no one's going to come to you and go, "All right, we're letting you go because you said 12,000." No one's going to do that. Mm-hmm. But if we think of consensus, when we say what most people do, and they bracket, they're going to put themselves in that bracket, and you've qualified it. Depends on what you want, what your home needs, and the variables that have to be accounted for.
Yeah.
But most people are here in this range from 12 to 21,000 is where the customer goes with it. Because at that point, you are building more credibility because you're showing you are still credible because you don't know exactly, but you can tell them the range. Because that's what most people want. Because most people have no clue. And so consensus comes from because that's what most people do. Most people are in this range, but there's some that are outliers.
Yeah.
We're indicating there are some outliers. And we're removing the outliers, and we're not just going, well, we have systems that go anywhere from $12,000 to $30,000.
Mm-hmm. You finish that last statement, but most people.
I'm qualifying it depending on what you want, what your home needs, and the variables. But what we find is most customers we've served do this.
Yeah.
And so all of that is 100% true. And forget the numbers. Find out what the numbers are for your company.
Yeah.
Because the 12,000 is true, but there's probably some outliers that are lower. Maybe they only get one component changed. But there's also people who spent more than 30,000 because their home needs multiple systems.
Right.
Maybe their home needed a full ductwork replacement. Maybe they remodeled and now they have to have a mini split added. Whatever the thing is, it depends on what their home needs, what they want, and the variables they're in. Just like, and I feel like the automotive industry affects the trades more than we realize.
Mm-hmm.
So think about you when you buying a truck.
Yeah.
What was the bottom end on the truck you were going to buy?
Like price-wise or like statistics-wise?
Statistics-wise, what do you think the bottom end would have been?
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to get a new truck. I was going to get one that was a couple of years old. Mm-hmm. I was going to finance it. There's a couple of things about it. I wanted a full size. I didn't want like a 250 or, but, and I was trying to stay in as close to $40,000 as I could.
Okay. Now, if you were in a situation, you're in a situation, you bracket yourself there.
For sure.
Because you say 40, as close to 40 as I can get.
Yeah.
But if everything you wanted was in that vehicle and it was perfect, exactly what you wanted, and it was 43, you've probably still done it.
Well, that's what ends up happening, right? What ended up happening. Because as you start to look, I went out and saw different vehicles, and I saw ones for like 38 or whatever, but when you ride it or you look at it, there's stuff, and you're like, this isn't worth the investment at this point. So fundamentally you try to bracket yourself before you show up.
Exactly. But what happens is because of the variables of James Walker, what you actually got was different, and you accept that, and you knew that was going to happen. Right. And buying a vehicle can be a forced or fun buy. There's some fun to it when you sit in it and you got all the nice new technology and leather seats or whatever. But so when it comes to consensus, I think people understand that there are variables in there. In that example I gave, but also most people choose to install this.
This is
most people most of our customers we serve choose to do it this way.
So when I was on the lot, there was a couple of ones I was looking at. I was looking at like Silverado 1500s, and I was looking at the LT or LTSs, right? Mm-hmm. And I was working with the guy. I was like, do you have any LTS? He's like, no, we don't actually have a bunch of those. And I was like, well, I do want the leather seats, but I don't want to have like the premium package. I just want to be able to get around and whatever. And he's like, can I be honest with you? I was like, yeah. He's like, most people don't buy LTSs. They either buy an LT with a leather package or they're going to buy like an RST or something else. I was like, really? Why not? He's like, well, because this and this. And I am just now realizing he wasn't probably trying to do this. He was using a principle of consensus. Like, not a lot of people actually buy that package. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
but wouldn't
well,
you wanna know that?
well, yeah. I'm like, well, if a lot of people aren't buying it, why not? He's like, well, because the trade-off that you pay for price, just get an LT with an upgraded package and going to be $3,000 less, or go with an RST, which is what you'd probably really want. It's going to be about $3,000 more. Your call. You know?
And so, again, that was an expert using their knowledge to help you.
With consensus. Like, this is, just to be honest, not a lot of people buy these. That's why you don't find them in stock, right, or whatever. So,
and that's the thing, though. And today, especially in the car business, that's verifiable.
Yeah.
Heck, you could ask ChatGPT or Copilot or whatever to look that up, and it will. And it'll tell you, and it's going to be pulling from so many different sources. But coming from the expert, it means more.
Sure.
Now, I think
at a time when I wanted it to, it helped clarify my decision-making process.
That's good. And I think too, if we now go into likability, and we try to group these together where they make sense.
Yeah.
Because where likability comes in before you even know it, a lot of times, and I don't know if it happened with you with this particular dealership. Your wife's a realtor. It happens with her.
Sure.
Yeah, we're thinking about selling our house. Oh, you've got to call Adriana Walker.
Oh, yeah.
You got to call her. Do you want to give her number out?
Yeah, if you're in the Waco area, call.
But you got to call her. She's great. Is that okay? So there's likability already, and she didn't even know it. Your wife didn't even know it. She was never likable to the other person.
Yeah.
She was likable to the person referring.
Sure.
We talked about referrals and consensus. Yeah. Well, we're also looking for people that not only are going to give us a great experience, but we're going to like them. And if a person we like them, the person who knows us knows we'll like them, and they make the recommendation.
Here's an interesting point on that, and this blends the consensus and the likability. They did studies where if a CSR tells a customer, let's see, we got you tomorrow at 3 p.m., okay, that's going to be Jake. Oh, Jake, you're going to love Jake.
Yes.
He's going to take great care of you. Our customers love Jake. You just ask him about his dog or whatever, right?
You got both right there.
Then Jake goes in, he goes through the process. Well, we need to talk to Mike. Oh, it's going to be Mike who's coming. He's phenomenal. Make sure you got a nice 30 minutes. They know we have something to gain by propping up Jake as a great person.
Yeah. What else would we say?
What else would we say?
Man, you watch out for that Jake guy. He stinks, and he usually takes advantage of customers.
But for some reason, psychologically, people, even knowing that, still adopt a better viewpoint of the person coming and have better connectivity with them before they even show up. It's crazy.
Yeah, because I think a word that, to me, kind of couples the two, endorsement.
Yeah. For sure.
You're endorsing that person.
Right.
And so consensus, I liked him.
Yeah.
And we're friends and we've got history. I liked him. You're going to like him too.
Yeah.
And then the likability.
Yeah.
So there's the consensus and they liked the likability. You're going to like him too. So endorsement.
Yep.
And of course, that could be a two-edged sword for the person endorsing too if they have a bad experience. But I think sometimes that's why you get reviews and more people are truthful when it's anonymous.
Yeah.
Especially if it's negative.
Right.
Because they don't want to recommend you.
Yeah.
And then something happens.
Sure.
Something goes bad because then it's their fault,
right.
It seems. So that's why even more so that an endorsement from someone is so valuable to the company or to you personally. And that's what your CSR is doing. Even though they're on the same team, they're endorsing the person.
Yeah.
And they're making them, I think that aspect of asking him about his dog, that increases likability because then again, consensus. Oh, Jake's a dog lover too.
Yeah.
I love dogs. I like talking about my dogs. I can't wait to talk to Jake about his dog. I must be going to like dog because he's a dog person.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, we don't do this as a primary to influence.
Sure.
These are just things that are built into
that if you
interactions.
Do them, will influence.
Yeah, they're built into interactions.
Yeah.
That it's, and again we talked before, but it's better if it's organic. It can be prescribed organically.
Sure.
Like it could be as I think is in art, is find common ground.
Yeah.
Likability is about finding common ground, right?
Sure.
And if you like what I like or you're interested in what I'm interested in, then I'm going to like you more.
Yeah.
Right? Because we share something, so there's a consensus, and that's why these two go together pretty good. So as far as consensus and building consensus when we're in a home, it's important to consensus can also be built by using third-party resources.
For sure.
So show pictures of corrected problems maybe, or show pictures of a great installation,
or government websites, or things like that validate your perspective from a objective third-party view.
Yeah, and you see how a lot of this stuff comes together. We talked about credibility earlier. We talked about credibility when we talked about authority, right, in a previous podcast. Credibility. The more credible you are, the more likable you are, but that alone can't do it.
Right.
So credibility, because credibility without likability, that's arrogance.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm the greatest technician ever. I've worked on thousands of systems like this, and I'm going to make sure you're going to be 100% satisfied before I'm done and all this kind of stuff. Where's the unit?
Yeah.
Where's the panel? You get into that, you're just arrogant at that point.
Yeah.
You're an egoist.
Sure.
Egotist?
Wow. What? Both of them
Alex,
sound
look up
great.
the difference between egotist and egoist.
You're egotic.
That's not a word.
It's not, but it should be.
It sounds like an egg. It sounds egg-like. It could.
Sure. It could.
Why is EG said egg, but EGG is said egg?
That's a great question.
The things
Egotist is someone who talks essentially about themselves.
Okay.
Someone who believes philosophically that self-interest is the foundation of morality.
Wow.
That's good, Alex. I don't know if you guys didn't hear that, but an
didn't hear that.
egotist is someone who just talks about themselves.
Yeah.
But an egoist believes that
The sense of self is the highest definition of morality or something.
sense of self, okay.
Interesting. Okay.
All right, that's the thing. So, but we can't let it can't be just credibility alone. I have to have a conversation, and we've talked before is when you're talking to a customer, you're asking questions, you're educating. Make sure it's a conversation. It's not a lecture and it's not an interview. You've got to come in between. If all you're doing is talking about your credibility and you're not interested in the customer in any way, you're not asking about anything, and you're going in and you're just reciting a script, it's not personable. You're not going to be likable.
Yeah. And ultimately, we make decisions to buy the person at a higher price than we would the product itself.
That's right, because a product is a commodity.
Yeah.
And if you can get this exact same product for less money, you're going to do that.
Sure.
But if you can buy a product and you're going to pay more, but you get a very good experience and with a likable person, you're going to be okay with that.
Sure.
Because you were buying the total package, not just the product, not just the commodity. When you buy a commodity, it doesn't matter who delivers it because you're just getting that.
Yeah.
And you're going to go to the lowest price. It makes sense.
Well, it makes nonsense not to.
Yeah.
Right? It's like it's lunacy to think that a commodity is going to be bought or sold at a price other than what the industry sets.
That's right.
So there's three components to likability that Cialdini talks about, which is how do you create likability? One is we feel like people like us, or we feel connect with them when they compliment us, when they work with us towards a common goal, or when they like us, compliment us, work with, I forget what the third one is. But basically there's a place where those sincere compliments, those thoughtful connections, those feelings like we're working towards a common goal, empathy is a big deal, especially in the objection handling.
Yes.
That you don't overcome, even when we talk about objections, our session is called Overcoming Objections. At the beginning of the session, I have them strike through the word overcoming and rewrite the word handling above it, because overcoming means somebody wins and somebody loses.
You dominate.
So there's this place where we are in this together, and if they feel like you're working towards a common goal, you compliment them and you are like them in a certain way. Yeah. There's similarities between you two. You find common ground. That's the three things that create connection and likability with someone.
That's right. And the sincerity of all of that, it has to be sincere.
It has to be sincere. It has to be humanized, right? Like my guy, Cody, the guy who sold me his truck, we connected a little bit. He grew up in the area. He went to high school. We knew some of the same people. Automatically, he's not this person who's trying to sell me something. He's a dude from a city nearby, and we know some of the same people type stuff.
Exactly. Common ground.
Humanizes common ground.
And I think, but again, to go back to how we can use these tools for evil intent or bad intent. Think I was on a ride along one time with a salesperson, and we got to the point where he was handling a spouse objection.
Yeah.
And he had been trained, not by us, he'd been trained to mirror the customer's situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I understand, my wife and I talk about these things too. And when we talk about them, we do this, 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 and this. I'm sure you and your husband do the same thing. He's going through it and this, that, and the other. And ultimately they agree to buy. We get out to the car. We're driving to our next call. And it's like, I didn't know you were married. He goes, I'm not.
Jeez.
Yeah. They didn't stay with us long.
Wow.
But that's how you can use the tool.
Sure.
There's a lot of tools there.
Right.
There's a leap.
Yeah.
There's all the principles of influence at work there.
There's the guy who's a tool.
Yes, there's a guy who's a tool. So, but that's how it can go. And that is not what we are teaching you here.
No.
Because here's the thing. Whether you practice and are aware of, and I'm going to say the word use, consensus and likability, whether you choose to or not, it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
It is acting on you whether you control it or not.
Yeah.
Whether you choose to embrace it and use it or not, it's acting on you. And mostly in a negative way.
Yeah.
Because you're just unaware or you don't care or whatever.
Well, I think what we'd say is that those components are present even if you don't address them. Yeah. And if you don't address them, they're present often in the negative.
That's right.
They're making a decision about unlikability if you do not have them make a decision about likability.
And unconsensus. I don't think that's a word.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either. We're coming up with inconceivable. I don't think you know what this word means.
I don't think that word means what you think it means. Well, there you go. That's consensus and likability of the 6 principles of influence.
Man, that was one of the best podcasts we've ever done.
I'm not going to go there, James.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there yet.
I think consensus says that it wasn't, but likability dictates that it was. So go ahead.
And your position as a professional expert authority, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, if you want to talk more about this with either one of us, you can reach me at 254-733-7109 or Elmore, ELMORE, at servextra.com, SERVEXTRA.com, or you can talk to James.
254-230-5266 or James at servextra.com.
Go to our website, www.servextra.com. Check out other episodes of this podcast. Like it, share us, send us requests for topics that you'd like to talk about. Also, check out our next workshop classes. They're coming up in September. So I know it's still several weeks away, but it's not too early to get signed up for those classes. Learn how to be better at sales, be better at customer interaction as a technician. Also, there's lots of free stuff on the website that'll help you with your career. So be the person who practices and gets better at their craft, because that's what this is. Mm-hmm. Now, as always, in the spirit of how we started this episode with the greatest singers that we've ever heard of, James will now sing the response to my question. James, what do we do here at Service Excellence?
We turn learning into earning. We turn learning into earning. Da, 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 da,
Why was you with Suzanne Vega of all people?
What do you want me to do, Whitney Houston? That's not going to work.
You said Whitney. Give me some Whitney.
Okay. Well, with learning into earning?
Go on, give us a song then, Brittany.
No. We turn.
No, don't. I don't want to break every microphone and sound device we have in here. Bye,
we're
everybody.
Done.